Hola amigos de Latinoamérica y bienvenidos al segundo episodio de Sala VIP del Tenis de Mesa latinoamericano. Qué gusto volver a encontrarnos. Como ya saben, vamos a tener muchísima información, entrevistas, pero también mucho tenis de mesa para todos ustedes. Además, saben que van a poder interactuar con nosotros a través de las redes sociales, enviando sus preguntas, sugerencias o comentarios del programa. Espero que nos acompañen hasta el final a través de nuestro canal de YouTube y Facebook.
Hola amigos, bienvenidos a este segundo capítulo de la Sala VIP del Tenis de Mesa. Hoy con un gran invitado, JÖRG ROSSKOPF. Él fue campeón de Europa, campeón de una Copa Mundo y medallista olímpico en Atlanta y en Atenas. Él está a cargo en este momento de la selección alemana de tenis de mesa, que tiene grandes figuras como Timo Boll, Dimitrij Charov y Patrik Franziska. Acompáñanos a este segundo capítulo, tómate un café con nosotros y disfruta de esta gran entrevista. Bienvenidos.
Mi nombre es Marbella Nazaret Aceves Moreno y soy de México.
Yo me llamo Kevin Montúfar y soy de Guatemala.
Mi nombre es Daniel Araya Aguilar y vengo de Costa Rica. Como uno bien sabe, este es el deporte que a uno le encanta, le gusta y que en todo momento quisiera practicar. Entonces creo que esta es la herramienta que primero que más uso, por la que todo el mundo me conoce, por practicar el deporte de tenis de mesa. Creo que esto significa vida, esfuerzo, perseverancia, sacrificios.
Esto para mí siempre representó la fortaleza que alguna vez no tuve y que esto me forjó. Me da una razón de saber que puedo ser alguien en la vida.
Es lo mejor que me ha pasado. Esta raqueta me ha convertido en una persona llena de valores, de responsabilidades y sobre todo de muchos sueños.
Pues tal vez es toda una vida. Llevo 19 años, prácticamente está toda mi juventud.
Todo esto y mi familia me definen a mí. Mi nombre es Yadira Silva Llorente y vengo de México.
Mi nombre es Mabelin Adriana Enríquez Carías y soy de Guatemala.
Yo soy Rebeca Yestas y soy de Honduras. No sé, me ha dado tantas cosas buenas, recuerdos y amistades para siempre.
Yo soy Gary Castro y vengo de Nicaragua. Es mi vida. Es mi vida.
Hola, te invito a que entres con nosotros de lunes a viernes a las 11:15 horas de Colombia. Los jueves siempre tendremos un invitado internacional muy especial. Ven y entrena con nosotros, juntos seremos mejores, juntos seremos más fuertes.
Bueno, amigos, bienvenidos al segundo episodio de la Sala VIP del Tenis de Mesa latinoamericano. Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of the Latin American VIP Room. Today we have a legend of table tennis with us. It's a great honor to have here Mr. JÖRG ROSSKOPF. Mr. ROSSKOPF, thank you very much for being with us and for making the time for Latin American table tennis fans. I'm sure we will enjoy talking to you, asking a lot of questions we received from all the fans, going through all your career, but I think 45 minutes will not be enough to talk about everything you made for table tennis and for the table tennis history. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much for the invitation. All the best.
First of all, I've been watching a lot of interviews from you in the internet, and you started playing when you were five years old. But how did you come to table tennis? Who was the one responsible for you being playing table tennis?
First of all, as you said, I started with 5 years, and my parents, they were responsible for me that I started table tennis as well. My brother, he started same moment, so I was together with my brother. And in my hometown, there was just 2 sports what you could do at that moment. It was table tennis and soccer. So I did both, but I was a little bit more talented in table tennis, so that's why I stayed with all my friends in table tennis, and it was really easy to join the table tennis club because we had a very, very good coach in that moment. He gave us a lot of fun in that moment to practice and to learn the skills and the techniques. So it was really nice to play table tennis with 5 years, because with 5 years it's not that easy to start a sport, but it was a pleasure for me.
Nice. And who was your role model when you were in small categories?
Yeah, okay, in that moment with 5 years, I don't have a role model. Later on, I had a role model, Erik Lind from Sweden, because he played a little bit different to the other players, because Waldner, Persson, Appelgren, they played a little bit closer, a little bit far from the table, and Erik Lind, he was a little bit more closer to the table. High risk table tennis, so I enjoy to watch him because he was trying to find really quick the success, and that's what I love. And later on, you build up your own technique and tactics. So later on, I was my own role model. But when I played, let's say from 10 to 14, 15, he was my idol and role model.
I have a question here in all the questions we have exactly about talking about this, the technique in the 90s. Everybody was playing a little bit behind the table, safer. And I have here, exactly, JÖRG ROSSKOPF, Erik Lind, and Jean-Philippe Gatien. You were maybe the 3 players that were playing a little bit risky, closer to the table with the counter top spin. That, of course, today is everybody's doing that. But in those days, you were the 3 that were making the evolution of the game of what we have today, I think so. But we will come to that to this later. But yes, you are right. I have exactly that question here, and I had here Erik Lind, so perfect. It matched perfectly. And at what age did you start playing professionally? How many years did you play professionally?
I moved when I was 16 to Borussia Düsseldorf, to this club. I moved when I was 16. I was in the 2nd division in Germany with 14. So from 5 to 14, there was a gap where I was improving a lot. I was in my region one of the best player, and then the German cadet and the German juniors. But really the feeling that I can really improve table tennis and win titles came out when I was, let's say, 13, 14, 15. In that moment, I realized, okay, I had quite good ambitions, talent, and so that's why I made this really big step to go with 16 to the best club in maybe in the world, Borussia Düsseldorf. This was really not that easy, because in that moment I was not I was ready to go there, but I was not sure to go to this really big club with 16, because the pressure is quite high in the club. But I knew I need pressure to go on for my next step, next level in my career.
Mm-hmm. And who were your teammates those days?
In those days, Jürgen Persson, because he moved a year before to Düsseldorf. So he was my teammate. Steffen Fetzner was my teammate. Ralf Wosig. So a lot of German players, because in that moment we changed a year after the rules that there was just one foreigner allowed to play in the Bundesliga. Mm-hmm. The rest had to be German players. So that's why Germany improved a lot in that moment. Because there were really 10 teams with 6 players, 5 from the team had to be German. So we had 50 players who had the chance to play in the league. So this was a big chance for many Germans to improve their game.
Nice, interesting, very interesting. And we will come to Dortmund 89, of course, but not everybody remembers that you became European doubles champion in 1988, playing together with Vladimir Samsonov. How this
It was 89.
happened? 89?
It was 98, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
It was later on because Samsonov...
Oh, okay, it was later, okay.
Yeah, it was later on because he's really younger than me. So in that moment, it was after the World Championships in Dortmund.
Ah, okay. But how did it happen? How did you come to play with Samsonov? How did it happen?
I have to start a little bit earlier because from Dortmund until Atlanta '96, I played with Steffen Fetzner a long period, and then he moved from Düsseldorf to another club, and Samsonov came to Düsseldorf. Yeah, I played together with Samsonov in the same team. We played double in the team, so that's why I asked him if it would be okay for him to play the European Championships together with him, because I knew that we were really, really strong as a double pair, and I knew that we are really like to win the European Championships. And in that moment, Fetzner had some injury problems, and so that's why I moved to play with Samsonov, because we had really like a long period to play together with Fetzner, and it was okay to change the partners in that moment.
Dortmund 1989. I was there with the Guatemala national team, and it was my first World Championships. And I think, and I insist, that this specific championship changed the history of table tennis for life, because it happened there where Sweden came to beat China in the teams. More than 10,000 people in the hall. And then Jürgen Persson and Wallner reaching the singles final, but the Germans, Stefan Fetzner and JÖRG ROSSKOPF, playing also the final against another European. So it was the championship, I think, that showed the world that it is possible. But not only this, all what was happening around, it was great with the whole full of people supporting the Europeans and of course the Germans. But you were not the favorites to reach the final. Can you tell us something, what was happening all around all this process reaching the final?
Yeah, it was a long process because the federation, they recognized that table tennis is quite popular in Germany, but there was no interest anymore in table tennis. So that's why they tried to build up a new system of holding the big tournaments. So Hans-Wilhelm Gaeb, our president in that moment, he knew that we have to do something really like professional, really like to improve table tennis. So that's why a month before we went to the Westfalenhalle, and then there was a setup with different color of the floor, set up with different color of tables. So what was perfect for the television, because we knew that we were not so strong, Germany, but we knew that we could broadcast it all over the world. So it should be a perfect setup for table tennis. And that's why there was a red carpet, there was the green tables, there were the white balls. We knew this was perfect for the viewers around the world. So we knew that Germany is not so strong, but we hoped that we will have a lot of spectators. And so that's why we did a lot of commercials and advertisement for these World Championships. And before the World Championships, we moved to Dortmund, and we had conversations. We had a meeting with our federation, and our president Hans-Wilhelm Gaeb. He came in the room, and then we spoke a little bit about the World Championships, that we should try our best, fight till the end, and suddenly he showed us a gold medal and told us, all the players, because we had a big team there, told all the players, okay, this gold medal should be the target, and this target, they would pay amount of, in that moment, D-Mark or now Euro, for the winner from the German team. And I said to myself, okay, this is so far away that I can fly to the moon. Yeah. So I said, okay, he could say it would be 10 million for the federation to give for the gold medal, and said, okay, we try our best, but gold medal is really unreachable for us. And okay, it started with the team. At that moment, we played everything together: team, mixed double, singles, and the double. So yeah, we were quite strong in the team. We went to the quarterfinal. We lose against Sweden with no chance, but we went to the quarterfinal. It was a big success for us. And then we moved to the singles, doubles, mixed double, and yeah, we tried our best, but in no competition we had a chance to win a medal, because BD and me, we won a year before our first tournament in '88, the German Championships. So this was our first tournament, but we were not in the seeding list for the World Championships. They were really like much better pairs in that moment: the Chinese, the Koreans, the Swedish. So yeah, the first part of the tournament ended with a big disaster for the Chinese. They lost against Sweden in the team, so it was like a shock for the Chinese, and showed all the others that everything is possible. Yeah?
Exactly.
And then okay, we went on with the single, double. Okay, the draw was not too bad, but yeah, we tried our best. And then we knew, okay, we went to the quarterfinal on this Saturday, 8th of April, and we knew quarterfinal is really strong for us. But with all around, with all the spectators, with all the we had really like the feeling that the whole country, whole Europe, everyone was behind these World Championships and was behind these two young Germans. Yeah? And so, yeah, we won this quarterfinal, went to the semifinal, and knew we would play against the Chinese. They won everything before, and they're going to win these World Championships as well. So we lost the first set. Second set, I think they were not 100% in focus. So we won the second set, and then I think no one could beat us, because we were like in the flow. Spectators were unbelievably loud, and you could see in the Chinese face that they are really like one more time a shock. Team event, and now in the doubles as well, the shock. So in the third set, we knew we will win this, and after we knew, okay, now this is our one and only chance to win the World Champions title, so we will not lose the final. Yeah? So that's why we won the World Championships, and it's the Swedish Waldner Persson. They played the final in the single event, so it was really like a perfect World Championships for the table tennis sport, not only for Germany or for Europe. It was perfect for the whole world, because everybody knew we could beat the Asian, we could beat the Chinese. The Chinese knew, okay, now in Europe they have strong players. They have to practice, they have to be in focus. So it was a perfect setup for the table tennis sport, because right now there is a little bit the disadvantage between Chinese and the rest of the world. And in that moment, Chinese, they were fight till 96, 95, 96. Let's say 6 years they had to challenge this lost in the World Championships in Dortmund. And so it was a big fight for 6, 7, 8 years between Europe and Asia.
In that moment in Dortmund, was your family present in the hall?
All they were present. We had a lot of tickets, what we gave them, and it's really unbelievable, because we are playing, not now, but before we played a lot of exhibition in Germany. and nearly all they came to us and said, okay, I was there in that moment. Please, could you sign my ticket? And then we always said, okay, there was just 10,000 people, but we had the feeling that there were like, I don't know, whole Germany was there, because they all said, okay, I was there, I have a ticket, please sign there. Okay, this was amazing, but it was really like this, that our sport, but also for me and for Speedy, it started the whole career. We were like, from one day to the other day, we were like really well-known sportsmen in Germany, and it was not easy to deal this, because we were good table tennis players, but to deal everything around, because we were idols for the table tennis players, but we were as well idols for the people in Germany. We were like in all TV channels, so it was not easy to go out for us and to do like normal things we should do with 18 or 19 years. Yeah. So this was not easy, because it was not a change of long term. It was a change from one day till the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, you became one of the sports stars in not in Germany, in Europe, in the world, because what you achieved in Dortmund with all this ambient and with all the people around and all what's happening around was really great, and the table tennis fans, for example, me, I was there. I will never forget those moments also. But then we come to 1992. It was a great year for you, because you became European champion, beating Jean-Michel Seyf in the final, and then Barcelona Olympic Games, where you reached also the final. So it was a great year for you. But talking about the European Championship against Jean-Michel Seyf, of course, you were already a legend. Germany was in the top. Everybody was following you, but becoming European champion, how was that feeling?
Yeah, it was a great feeling, because after Dortmund, the pressure was unbelievably high for us. In all the matches we played, we had like a lot of television, we had a lot of spectators around. So the pressure was really, really high, because they all said, okay, you became world champion, but okay, world champion in double, and it was maybe once, but never again. So yeah, the pressure was high, and the federation, they tried to build up new tournaments and to show the German fans our heroes, Roskopf and Fetzner. So that's why we played a lot in Germany. That's why, for example, the Swedish, they had not so many tournaments in Sweden. They were heroes. They were really, really big, Waldner, Persson, Appelgren. But they had more fans in Germany that they have, I think, in Sweden, because they played a lot in Germany. They played in the league. We had really like big tournaments in Germany with a lot of prize money, with a lot of television, a lot of spectators. So they were really well known, and they were perfect ambassador for their sport, or for our sport. So in Stuttgart, it was the next big tournament after Dortmund, and the pressure was unbelievably high. We played not well in the team. We played not well in the double, because Fetzner and me, we lost quite early in the double. So for me in the singles, I knew I had a good shape, and I knew I could go on for the next level, but I knew as well that there were Waldner, Persson, Appelgren, the Swedish legends. They were there, and they were really like to win the tournament. Yeah, so we had really a lot of good players: Gassian, Seyf, Primorac, Krupa, a lot of good players in Europe in that moment. And so the draw was not well for me, but I had a lot of luck that always I won my game, and in this round the favorite lost. So Waldner lost, so Persson lost. So there were many top players lost always in my round where I won. So I knew I could play the next round against a little bit weaker player where I like to play against. Yeah? So I played one Chopper, Jensen Hua, and then I played Primorac. I knew I can deal to play against him. And then in the final, I knew the same feeling as in Dortmund. No one can stop me, and this was the same feeling in Stuttgart. Yeah, Safe was a great player, a big fighter. We knew each other for a long time because we played a lot, we practiced a lot together, and I knew I cannot lose. So I had quite good system to play against him, and I was really better than him. He was afterwards. He became really a big player, number one in the world. But for this final, I was a little bit better than him at that moment, and I was pushed from the spectators from Germany to go on for my level. So that's why I won the European Championships, because I had the same feeling than in Dortmund. No one can stop me.
And in Barcelona 1982, when you reached the doubles final, I can imagine, because you were a 1989 doubles world champion, then you became European champion, and you reached the final in the Olympics, playing for the gold medal. The pressure should have been very, very high. What was going around it? Because there you have all the Olympic committee and all the delegation, and of course Olympics are Olympics, and I cannot imagine the pressure you had to play that final against China, and the Chinese were with hunger of winning again. Eh?
Yeah.
How was what was going around?
Yeah, it was like this, that we could deal much better to go on with pressure, because after Dortmund, after Stuttgart, we had more feelings to go on with pressure. And 92, this was my best year in my career, I have the feeling, because I went to the quarterfinal in the single events. I lost to an unbelievable strong player at that moment, Jano Waldner. He was a player who won the Olympics in 92, who just lost one set. He lost against me this set in the Olympics. He was really out of reach. No one could beat him there. But I was really there, that I had the feeling after the match against Waldner, if I would be on the other half of the draw, I would go to the final, because I was really strong in 92, full of energy after Stuttgart 92. So I was not disappointed, because I knew I was really strong. I knew I lost against the best player in that tournament. Yeah, because it looks like that he was in focus. It looked like that he was really, really strong. So I was not that disappointed. I was just a little disappointed why I had this. I was so unlucky to be in the same half of Waldner. So otherwise I would lose in the final against him. But this was great, and we had the feeling after singles that we were really strong, and in the double, we want to show the whole world that we are a strong double pair. We were well prepared, not only for the double, we were really well prepared for everything, for the whole tournament, for the singles and for the doubles. And so that's why everything runs well till the final. The final, really, we had our chance to win this and to got the gold medal. Everyone was behind us, as you said, the whole Olympic committee. But in Barcelona, it was unbelievable, amazing atmosphere. It was a really old hall, like an old railway station, and you could feel that whole Europe, they were like behind the European players to beat the Chinese, to beat the Asians, to win the titles there. So this was really like amazing. We played outside of Germany, but the feeling that we played really like in the home crowd. Yeah. But as you could see on the podium after the match, we were really, really disappointed, because we knew this was our chance to win the gold medal, because World Championships, it's something special, but Olympics, it's really something unbelievable. And so we were really disappointed, because we knew we had our chance. We lost against a strong pair, for sure, but in that moment, you were really, really disappointed. But after the tournament, we showed everyone that we are a strong pair. We showed everyone that we could deal with really a lot of pressure, and we came in the table tennis sport with really big titles in that moment.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's a silver medal in Olympics, and then you have a bronze medal in singles in Atlanta 1996. And there were gold medal Chinese, silver medal Chinese, and then JÖRG ROSSKOPF with the bronze medal. You were in the peak of your career, I think. Do you think in 1998 between and Atlanta 1996, because 1998 you became World Cup champion?
Yeah.
Where do you think you were playing at the highest world-class level?
The highest was in 92, but in my game, but with confidence, with improving my game, I was more in 96, 98, in that period for these 2-3 years. I was more because I had always the feeling I did a lot for the table tennis sport. I did a lot for me. And so I came in all the tournaments without any pressure because I knew I was practicing well before. I'm well prepared and I will enjoy the tournaments. And that's why I was really always relaxed to go in the tournaments because I did everything perfect before. I was practicing 2-3 times a day, 4, 5, 6 hours, and I couldn't do more. So I came in with this feeling, okay, I did everything. And in Atlanta, 96, the feeling was really, really strange because we had again the chance to get a medal in the double. So we went to the semifinal in the double. I went to the semifinal in the single. The day before, we played the semifinal in the singles, in the doubles. We lost, no chance in the semifinal against the Chinese, and then we had to play positions 3 and 4. We lost against Koreans, so we were forced. No one recognized that we were forced. So I knew, okay, the day before I became with my double partner Steffen Fetzner forced, but no one recognized it. So it was like, it was no goal to get the fourth place because only first, second, and third got the medals. So we were not at the podium. And the day after, I had the same situation again. I lost in the semifinal against Chinese.
Who
and
did
I had
you
to
play
play
against?
position. I lost Li Guoliang. No chance. I beat Kim Taek-soo in the quarterfinal. Unbelievable match. Unbelievable rallies. It was amazing table tennis. I came to the semifinal full of power. And then Li Guoliang, he showed me everything. His perfect serve, his perfect tactic against lefties. So no chance for me. I was really like in 50 minutes out of the court. And I had to deal this because I had to play after Petr Korbel positions 3 and 4. And I knew the day before we lost positions 3 and 4. So I don't want to lose again positions 3 and 4. So that's why I never liked to play against Petr Korbel because he was, from the tactic part, he was really good against me, good friend of mine. So I hate to play against him. Yeah? So it was very difficult to play. But finally I won. I became third. And now, if I look back to my career, I knew that there are so many strong players who reach everything, but they couldn't get the medal in the Olympics. So that's why I'm really proud of this medal in the Olympics in 92 in the double and 96 in the singles.
That was going to be my next question. I have here 4 of your most important wins. How can you put them in order, the first, the second, the third, or the fourth, according to your feelings? Of course, we have the World Championships, doubles World Championships in Dortmund, the single bronze medal in Atlanta, the silver medal in doubles in Barcelona, or World Cup champion in 1988. How can you order them?
Tough to say, but I think the start of everything was Dortmund. So this is, for us, for the table tennis, this was the start. I think this is the most memorized title what we can get in Germany, and it was the start of the career. If we wouldn't win there, it was very difficult to deal everything behind. But I think for me in person, the medals in the Olympics was really like the big deals in the single 96. This was really for me in person. This was my biggest what I can achieve. But I like to play for a team. I like to play double. So that's why I always tell them, okay, it was important to get all the medals. And I think World Championships, European Championships, and the Olympics, they are all like, for me, they are all like the same. World Cup, it was something special because I won the World Cup in China, the first German who won the World Cup in China. Later on, Timo Boll won the World Cup as well, and Dmitry Ovtcharov. But I was the first German. And so this was a great tournament, but not so big as World or Olympics or this European. Because the Europeans, for me, it was to deal with the pressure by myself. Because I had no partner with me. I had no teammates with me. So I had there the final alone. I was there with Jean-Michel Seyf alone in the quarter.
Yeah, but you were also extremely successful in teams, because in 1993 in Sweden, Germany became third place. In Qatar, you played the final. And again, in 2006 in Germany, you became also third place. Before playing that final in Qatar, men's team final against China, Germany against China, do you remember how did the team manage the things before playing that final? It was so important playing China. The pressure, of course, was very high. But what did you talk between you, and how did you felt before playing the final against China in a World Championships?
Yeah, it was something special to play China in the final. But for me, this was maybe one of my toughest moments in the career, because I was not playing the final, because the coach put me out of the team. I won in the match against South Korea, important match against Osan Oin. But I was not selected for the team. So this was first time for me in my career that I had the feeling, okay, what's going wrong here? Why I'm not in the team for the finals? So that's why this was another part of sports, yeah, that you are playing together with a team and you have to deal this moment, because you are not selected, but you have to show on the bench you give everything. I was really like in shock that I'm not selected for the team, because Christian Süß, he was selected for the team, but I had to deal it. I spoke afterwards with the coach about everything, and I had to agree, and I have to say, okay, this was his opinion, and that's sports, that's team sports. But yeah, at that moment I knew, okay, it's not that easy. But you have 5 players, just 3 could play, so you have to deal it, and that's in my position now as a men's team for the German team, the men's coach for the German team. This is always in my mind. Okay, I have to select a team, but it's not that easy. It's always the toughest situation for a coach to select the team, because you have to tell 2 players you are not playing, or you have to tell a player you are not going to play Olympics, or you are not going to play the Europeans or the World Championship. So these are really tough moments, and this was in Qatar. This was maybe the biggest disappointment for me in my career in that moment. But you have to deal it. It's sport, and you have to deal it.
Yeah, okay. When was the first time Timo Boll reached the team together with you?
I'm not 100% sure. I know that I think he came in like 98, let's say.
Okay, around
4,000, yeah. So I played with him, and I played in the same team in the Bundesliga team. I played the national team together with him. We played double together in Olympics in Sydney. So yeah, a lot of nice memories with him. Yeah.
Of course. You were 8 times German champion. How many finals did you play against Timo?
Against Timo, I played never a final.
No?
No.
Wow.
It was like this that I didn't play so often the German champion. I could win more, but it was always on my way to go to the next tournament, German championships. In that moment, I was practicing a lot, and I felt not so well. So sometimes I canceled the championship. So I was never in the final with Timo because he's much younger than me. So I stopped, and then he came. So this was a perfect situation for the German table tennis.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know that. I thought you've played against him in many finals, but that's something new for me. And now that you are the coach of the national team, but you were playing together with Timo, as you've said, you surely are good friends and partners. How do you manage to separate this responsibility of being his coach and how do you manage the relationship, the friendly relationship you have with him and with the other teammates? Is that difficult?
It is. This was when I got the offer from the federation to become the German coach. I had to think about this for a few days because I knew that with that players, I played the day before or the week before, the months before in the national team, and now I'm their chief. And as a coach, you have to be the chief because you have to select, as I said, a team. You have to tell the player you don't play. You have to deal every day something with them. So I spoke a little with Timo about this situation, and he said, "Do it." And I always want to be coach. This was always my target when I was a player. I spoke a lot with coaches, and I was involved always in, let's say here in Düsseldorf, who would be the new player we should sell, how is the draw for the team, and like this. So I was always involved in this situation. So I knew I want to be coach. I've, as you said, really like a friendly relationship with Timo, and I knew then maybe I have to tell him that he's not playing the team or he's not select for the tournament. This is a tough situation, but it's like this. And the German newspapers in that moment, they always want to have this situation. JÖRG ROSSKOPF is the chief of Timo Boll. JÖRG ROSSKOPF he was a big fighter. He was practicing a lot. He was hard to his body, to himself, to everyone. And Timo Boll, on the other side, he's a talented player. He's in that moment a little bit weak. So to Rosskopf, he has to give him pressure that Timo Boll will be the top player. So this, what I tell Timo directly, this I will not do. I will give him a little pressure because he needs this, but I will not tell him, okay, Timo, now you have to practice 6 hours a day. Because I knew if I would tell this to Timo, and he's so friendly, then he will do it, but he will stop a few months later table tennis because he don't want to do this, because he has his own mind and he knew what is perfect for him. And if I would do 100% and he would do 100%, either I will be not coach him anymore or he will not be a table tennis player. So this we have to deal, and this was a perfect deal for us that right now Timo Boll is still, with his 40 years, one of the best players in the world, and I'm very, very happy to be his coach, and very, very happy to be coach of the German national team, because they are really, we are really like a team. We are really like of Boll. We have really like strong players, top in the world, young players came up. So it's really a pressure to work with the team. And I have always the feeling that the federation, they leave me to do my things, that I don't have to tell them every week what I am going to do with the players. We are successful but I don't have to tell anyone what I or me with my assistant coach, because we are a team, are doing with the players. And this is perfect for a coach, that he don't have the pressure from the federation, that always the federation, but we need this a title, or we need this, or what you are doing there, why you did this. So this is the perfect situation. The federation is really like peaceful to all, and we have a perfect team around the team, and team really like the team.
Wow, nice. And you have also a very, let's say, very complete team, because the playing styles are so different between Timo Boll and Ovcharov, totally different playing styles. Then you have Patrick Franziska, also totally different, and of course Filous playing defense. Have so many different styles in the top level. Is this an advantage? Do you think it's an advantage in your team?
It is for sure, because we need more pressure from behind, from the young players. That's why the Chinese or the Asians, they are so strong, because there are always new talent players who wants to go up and wants to fight and beat the top players. There we need more players, but in my team I have, let's say, around 15 players. I'm very happy to have so many different kind of players, and it's always good to have a defense player, for sure, because for our team, but especially also if we go to the World Championships, there are so many players who don't like to play against a defense player, so you can select him in the team. But I'm very happy that we have not like an equal team, but now in the world you have always different style of playing. You have in China, you have Xu Xin is a penholder player. You have Fang Zedong, is a little bit close to the table. You have Ma Long, he has so much talent, but for a long time he's now the leading player in the Chinese team. So you have, in all teams you have special players, and you need special players. Man, you have for example in Brazil you have Calderano. He's a really strong player, but you have also players behind. Tsuboi, he has a lefty, good service. So many players you should take care about, and so many nice countries, but all they need more this feeling we can beat them, we can deal it together, and it will be, or it must be, perfect for the whole sport, that we could fight against Asia, we could fight against China, because the Chinese, they need this, because it's too boring for them, and it's too boring for the sport, and we need more like these players like Calderano or Gauzy or Boll or Ovcharov or Falk. We need more, but in my career, we were like, whole Europe was together, so we were connected. Yes. So we had training camps. We had this feeling that we want to roll over the world as Europe, not as Germany or Sweden or Spain. So we were like united, and this is what is now. We have so many different players, but they are all over the world, but not as they say, okay, now we go on, we want to fight, and we want to beat the best team in the world. Yeah, because there is one from Brazil, maybe one from France, maybe two from or three from Germany, but not all. We were unlucky that we were not on our best, let's say in Halmstad, because Ovcharov was injured. We were not in our best in the tournament because Timo was injured. We were never like that we were on our best, that we could deal with the Chinese, because they were always on their best, but we not, and this we have to manage.
Table tennis is in constant evolution. Constantly there are appearing new techniques, and in the 90s, the best players in the world were playing a little bit more safer. Then the game came closer to the table, faster counter spins. Then the banana flick appeared. Now it's kind of disappearing again, and the game is much closer to the table, counter spinning and very fast over the table. How do you manage to be adapting in this evolution to stay at the high level? How do you manage all this around the German team? What do you do?
I think the most important is that you have still your own style of playing. So you cannot adapt always to how is Fang Zedong playing or Timo Boll is playing. Okay, they are like their own style. So you cannot copy the style of Timo Boll. So you have to manage your own style and create a little bit more on it and find your main strokes and improve them and go on what are the weaknesses in your game and work on it. Yeah? So this is more important. So let's say Patrick Franziska, he's a really strong player. He has a good serve, good return, good first ball. He's in the rally, he's not that strong. So that's why you have to improve this, but still you have to be focused on his service, return, first ball. So we are trying to manage the practice always on their own players. It's not like this that I or my assistant coach, we will join the hall and then we say, okay, we do all the same and that's it. You have to deal table from table, players from players. What are their goals? And the most important is to find really high levels goals for the players. It's not to become German champion or to win a World Tour title or I don't know. It's the big goals what they have to practice with and they have to deal them.
And do you set your goals, for example, for the team? You set, I don't know, 2 different goals for the year. Let's say next year we have the World Championships and the Olympic Games. Do you work specifically for those goals or because the players have their own goals too? So how do you manage all this?
The players, they know that our goal is not to be European champion in the team because we won this a lot. Our goal is to reach the gold medal in the World or Olympics. That's our goal because we won the silver medal in the Olympics. We won the silver medal in the World Champion team events. So this is our only goal, what we have. And that's why we are practicing. That's why we are doing everything. The players beside, they have their own goals. Yeah. But this they need to realize that to go every day to the practice, they have to improve. They have to have their own goals. But for me as a national coach, I have to deal the team that they are thinking as a team, and then they are happy to join the team, and that they want to be selected for the team because they know if they are selected for the team, we are going for the gold medal, and that's what they have to deal with. This must be their goal to select it, and if they are selected, to give everything for the next weeks to maybe to get once the gold medal, and then to be in the team. This would be their own goal.
Perfect. Very interesting. Really interesting. We are coming to the end of the interview, but first I will mention 4 names, and please just tell us what comes to your mind about them. The first one, for me, one of the greatest ever, Andres Gruba.
He died too early. Good friend of mine. I played a lot with him. I played a lot of exhibitions with him in Germany. It was always great fun because he was a great showman. But it was pity that he died so early.
Yeah, but he gave a lot for the history of table tennis, I think. He will remain for the history of table tennis forever.
Yeah.
Then the next one, do you think he's the greatest ever, Jan-Uwe Waldner?
For us, for sure, I think Ligo Liang and him. These two maybe are the greatest because Ligo Liang, he won everything. Jan-Uwe Waldner, he won everything. So as players on their own style, Waldner was, it was nice to watch him, how he played table tennis, how he celebrated table tennis. He was really like the Mozart of table tennis. But Ligo Liang, on his side, he had unbelievable service, unbelievable return. So he had his own style, but perfect. Yeah. So let's say to watch table tennis, Jan-Ove Waldner was the greatest. Yeah.
Okay, but playing against them was a little bit harder to play against Louis Golian.
Against both was terrible.
Against both, of course, of course. And what can you say about Malone? Because I think, and Jürgen Persson in the last interview, he said that if Malone wins Tokyo, he will become the greatest ever. What do you think about this?
Of course, yeah, he's really a great ambassador for table tennis. He's a great sportsman, and because he played double together with Timo Boll in 2 World Championships, so we came a little bit closer. And a really nice guy, always friendly, and for him the pressure must be unbelievably high because whole China is in the back, and they are all like a national coach. They are like so many players and so many people who likes to play table tennis, and he's in front of all of them. Yeah, so a lot of pressure for him. He was a little bit struggling because he was injured and didn't play so well. But in the big tournaments, he was there, and this is how the big table tennis players or the big sportsmen deal their goals. Just go for the big ones, and he's really a strong player, and nice ambassador for table tennis, and not only for China, for the whole world.
Exactly. And the last one, you have already talked something about him, but how do you see Hugo Calderano, our biggest star in Latin America?
Yeah, he's a really friendly guy. He likes to play table tennis. He's improving a lot, and I think he likes to live in Germany. Mm-hmm. But always you can see him when he came back to Brazil, or he go back to Brazil, came back to Germany. He's a little bit reloaded. He has more power and more energy. So he likes to go back to Brazil, but strong player, very friendly, nice style of playing table tennis, a lot of power. He has to improve his service and return, but he's working on it. And we are happy that he's playing in the Bundesliga in Germany. As the same as Malone, same as Timo Boll, he's, as you said, very important for your part, but he's a well-known player all over the world. Exactly. And it's nice to watch him, how he's playing table tennis, how he's focused on table tennis, and he has his own team around him, and they are following their goals and dreams, and I think it should be for him the goal to reach medals in all big tournaments, because he has he can be, let's say, one of the medalists in the Olympics. He can be one of the medalists in the World Championships. Why not? And he's close to, and he's in the top 10 in the world. Really strong player.
Thank you very much. Has been highly interesting to talk about history, about all your wins and your experiences, and of course what you can bring to table tennis now as a coach is highly interesting for all of us. We wish you all the success for the 2021 big tournaments that we are following. And last words for the table tennis fans in Latin America.
Hope to see you all safe back soon in this period what we have now, but hope that we see us somewhere around. It's always good. Best of luck all to you. Stay safe, and all the best.
Thank you very much for all what you've brought to table tennis in the world and in the history of table tennis. You will remain forever. Thank you very much, Jörg.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Esto fue un episodio más de Sala VIP del tenis de mesa latinoamericano. Síguenos en nuestras redes, envíanos tus comentarios. Atento a nuestro próximo episodio.